이동이니까.
Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz TV. This is Nick. We are getting set for round number 2 of the AAES Summer Series. We're at Kyalami for another 2 hours. Last time out was Zolder. This time we're doing Kyalami, so we're getting started very, very shortly. So let's breeze through this, shall we? Last time out in Zolder, it was quite wet. And the first place getter there was Ethan Cale, so big congrats to him. He was the one who took the fastest lap and the winner's trophy home. So big shout out to Ethan Cale, last round's winner. In second place was Connor Hyde in the Ferrari, and then in third was John Zhu in the number 45 Porsche. So congratulations to our first, second and third place getters. We're not too far away from getting this one started, about 3 minutes. Let's have a look at the championship standing. So it is Ethan Cale, and this is essentially the finishing order of the last race. You can see he's heading there, Connor Hyde, John Zhu. Plenty of different manufacturers in the mix there as well. You can see at least in the top 10 there's quite a lot of different manufacturers in there. And then the second top 10 there with Matthew Howard, John Carter and Brendan Pauly, 11th, 12th and 13th in there. Alex Tonkin Smith, Bracefield, Johnny Eaton, Nathan Wilson ended up 17th the last race as well, had a little bit of bad luck. Layla Bell towards the end there had some we had a couple of cars having issues with punctures as well last time out, so I'd never seen that before, so that was a first for me. If you're also wondering where Bruno is, Bruno will be joining us just probably the beginning of the race. He won't be here for qualifying, but he will make it in time for the race. In terms of the final placings, so we had 34 finishes last time there. Robbins, Wells, Moss, Mark Stevens, Louis Van de Venter in there, Mitchell Cole, Greg Brock, Webley, Skinny Luke and Daniel Quarantoto was the final classified finisher at Zolder. In terms of the race setup, so we are just finishing off the 10-minute practice session. That is set at 12 p.m. Then there is going to be a qualifying session which will be set at 12 midday. That will go for 30 minutes, so it's a little bit of a change to what the qualifying session was last time around, where we had three, essentially a Formula 1 style qualifying session. It's just going to be an all-out 30-minute all-in affair this time around. And then the race will be 2 hours. We're going to be starting at 8 o'clock at night, local in-game time, which is pretty exciting. We'll have the 3-minute timer at the beginning of the race. It'll be a full formation lap, and it'll be 2 hours around Kyalami, which is going to kick off very, very shortly. In terms of ballast, we've got the Aston Martin plus 11. The Audi got heavily penalised. The Bentley's got 23 kilos taken off. The BMW only -1. The Ferrari's a little bit different, so -7 kg for the Ferrari 296. For the 488 Evo, it's -39 kilos. The Lambo's saddled with 14 kilos. McLaren -24. The Mercedes plus 11, and the Porsche -8. Let's take a look at the track. So it is 16 turns, 4.52 kilometers. It's a tough track, this one. It's a tough track to get right. So we'll see how everyone goes tonight. But it's the short run, well, the decent run up into turn 1, and then you're winding yourself up the hill. Turn 5, Barbecue, the left-hander, is quite tricky. Sunset can be taken almost flat out. Clubhouse is a really, really tough corner because you're coming up the hill there. It's an up the hill braking zone to the left of the left-hander, and then through Lukop. And then you come back towards the start of the end of the lap there through Mineshaft, Crocodiles. It's got some awesome names. We'll see if they're turn 15 Cheetah. You can often see a little bit of two-wheel action in there as well. So we'll see if we get that this evening. But that is pretty much the pre-race all sorted. As you can see, we're not too far away from getting this one started. Just got a couple of people out there on their final laps, but it was Ray Smith who has topped the timesheets with a 1 minute 41.522. So decent time there from Ray Smith. We're not expecting any weather either, so rain has been set to 0. Temperatures set to 21, cloud level 30%, and randomness set to 2. What else do we need to know? Time multiplier of 1. We've got a new name in here. Where is he? Yeah, Jamie Koza, sorry. May not be familiar to some, familiar to others, but yeah, good to see him in here
Give it all you got.
having a crack. And here we go. So we're about to get this thing underway. Round number 2 of the AAES Summer Series. As the cars are all filtering out on track right now. What else do we need to know here? So it's a 30-minute qualifying session. We've gone through the ballast, we've gone through the championship standards. We've got 32, so decent number in here this evening. Ethan Cale, he was last round winner. So pole position went to Connor Hind, so we'll keep an eye on Connor Hind. In terms of drivers who've been fast in the practice server, Jamie Koza was one of them. So was Connor Hind, Chris Cooley, Ethan Cale was up there as well. Aaron O'Brien with that beautiful Castrol livery on the Jaguar there. Phil Antoon was up there as well. Ray Smith, John Zhu, Liam Curran, and Matt Nipperez, as well as Isaac Butterworth, were rounded out the top 10. So that's 10 names to keep an eye on. If you can't remember 10, just remember Jamie Koza. He was the fastest. We'll see how he goes. So have a look at Hignet here. So nearly all the cars out on track right now. So it's going to be a busy little session here. Nando Vitanzio, Mac Power in here as well. Some beautifully turned out cars as always. Phil Antoon. Who are we going to have first? It's going to be car number 52. That's going to be Ethan Cale. Will be the first one to give us the time lap. As mentioned, half an hour in qualifying. Skinny lead. I think he's had a bit of a change to his livery as well since the last time out. Connor Hind took pole position at Zandvoort. What can he do here tonight as we pick up Ethan Cale making his way through into where are we? The wrong map. This is the right map. Beautiful. That was turn 7 Clubhouse. Yeah, this one here. Such a tough corner. This is Barbecues, I think. No, Clubhouse. Yeah, tough corner. And then down the hill. This is another tough little braking zone in here as well. Doesn't touch the curb on the inside or the exit. That was 15 Cheetah, and then Ingwe turns 16 to finish off the lap. Let's see, the first one goes down Oz, a 41.340. So decent starter considering the fastest time in free practice was a 41.5. Ray Smith will be the next one to put a time on the board. Greg Brock, he's been fast in the server. No, he hasn't. No, my mistake. Anyway, let's see what he can do as times all start to filter through. He goes up into P7 for now. Here is Kurt Moss and that can't miss bright yellow Aston Martin. This is the car I was trying to pick up earlier. Mark Stevens, number 169. So Jamie Koza goes to the top of the times. Connor Hind not far behind him. A 40.845 to a 40.860. So nothing in it in the early stages of this one. Of qualifying, setting the grid. Round number 2 is John Foster in the Audi, the 604. across the line. He lays down a time. Pickford in the Bentley. Had a decent old boost in the ballast. Ballast is the same used in the low fuel motorsport series. He's calling Toto in the Porsche. That was at a minus 10 kg of ballast. With him until now. Well, for now. Alright, he runs a little bit wide. That's it for him. What about Harrison Barla? Number 21. He will improve on his time, but only just. Maybe not enough to move up. Here's Lucky Andrews. Let's try and pick up everyone. Here's Jamie Koza. He's our fastest driver out there, a 40.5. So he's gone even faster than his original time. Looking good right now. He's a 10th up on his best time in the early stages of this one as he comes up to turn number 7, which is Clubhouse. So he's got the McLaren ahead of him. It was interesting to note that the McLaren was at minus 19 kg for ballast. Seems to be the OP car at the moment, so it did strike me as a little bit peculiar, but nonetheless, I might be able to get a little bit of a tow. I think it's Begg, it is. So they're able to get through. Cost him a little bit of time, and he's not going to be improving at this stage. No, he won't be. Let's flick over to Ray Smith because he is improving by 0.3 of a second right now as he comes towards the end of the lap. Let's see where he pops out here. Goes up into P5. Nice work from Ray Smith. Here's Harrison Barla. Pick him up as he's coming towards the line. Can he move up a couple of spots here from 17th? No, so that's where he remains for now. Who else is out there? I saw someone in the 1 minute 40s. Here's Power, Mac Power. I'm not too sure if he raced in the last race. The number 67. He's 8/10 up on his best time. Where does that put him so far? P13. That's not too bad of a start for him. Here's Christian Wells in the Mercedes. Half a second up. He's yet to put down a competitive time at this stage. This will be his first attempt. They're all chasing Jamie Koza, 140.5. Wells goes up into P14, so a good start from him for his first time lap. What about Ethan Cale, our championship leader, last time out race winner, round number 1 race winner. A very wet and soggy Zolder. It rained for the majority of the race. Oh, getting a little bit loose there. He comes up to the final turn. 0.3 up on his best time. That'd be getting pretty close to the second row of the grid. It does. P3. Nice work from Ethan Cale. This is Ray Smith. Oh, that's Begg again. Has that cost Smith a little bit of time? I think it has. He was 0.3 up on his best time. He will improve, but only marginally and not enough to move from P6. Here's Layla Bell. She put in a good race last time out. She was one of the drivers, one of 2 drivers, or one of 3, can't remember, but to cop a puncture right at the end of the race. She's 0.3 up on her best time right now. She's in P11, moves up into P8, so a strong start from her. Back to Mark Stevens here. He's only marginally up on his best time. He's currently sitting P21 at this stage. Almost 10 minutes into this 30-minute qualifying session. Setting the grid for round number 2 of the AAES Summer Series. And Stevens completes his lap there. Nick Perez moves up into P11. And back to Ray Smith. So he had Begg in front of him earlier on. We'll flick across to John Carter before we finish off with John Smith, because he's in 17th right now. Moves up into P12. So nice work from him. What about Mitchell Cole? Gear Grinders Racing, the 78 Mercedes, currently sitting in 30th. There is 4 drivers that are yet to set the time: Marsh, Corontoto, Cooley and Butterworth. Cole has set a time of 45.8. The time they're chasing is a 40.280. That's Jamie Koza, who's sitting top of the times right now, with Hind, Kale, Webley, Smith, then Zoo, Antu, Pickford, Bell and Moss. That's your top 10. 34 on track right now. Or 34 in the lobby, if you like. Here's Cole. Where can he come out? Improves on his time, but still remains down there in P30. This is Eaton. He will improve on his time, and he moves up into P14. What about Webley? He's up there in 4th position. He was a couple of tenths up. That'll get him pretty close to P2. He goes P3, so a good start there from Webley in the Ferrari. Latenzio, he's 3.5 tenths up on his best time. Going to get him up a few spots right now from his current position of P20. Race on Oz entry. Let's see where he goes. P17, so nice work from him. What about Greg Brock? He's 7 tenths up on his best time of 42.9. So that'd move him. Could he crack the top 20 in this lap? Let's stick with him and see how he goes. Oh, he runs a little bit wide there at Crocodiles. At Cheetah, sorry. Got my animal mixed up, and he validated his lap. He was half a second up. Ends up being 6 tenths up on his best time, which would have got him about P22. So he will have to go again. Back to Ray Smith. He's only up just slightly right now. Chris Cooley just set a lap, a 140.730. So he joins Jamie Koza on the front row of the grid. And a bit of a lull right now. I'm here for the memes. Yeah, didn't get a livery for Chris Cooley, unfortunately, which means he'll probably be at the front of the race and have most of the camera on him the whole time. So that's just how it goes. Let's go back to Latenzio. He's the furthest along in a lap. They're all still changing Koza, so we're almost the halfway mark of this 30-minute qualifying session. The difference between P1 and P2, almost half a second. It's relatively close after that though, so there's a second, 1.3 seconds covering the top 10 right now as Latenzio. Can he improve on his time? He does. He goes up into P15. Here's Phil Antoon, the number 3 BMW. One of 4 or 5 BMWs in the field right now. He's 4 tenths up on his best time. That could crack him into the top 5 here. Can he keep that pace to the line? Oh, he does. He goes right into P5. Nice work there from Antoon. I think I mentioned he was one of the faster drivers in the practice lobbies in the last couple of weeks. This is Herod. He's a 10th up on his best time. Let's see. He has improved again. Can he move up a spot? Yeah, he does. He goes up into P12. Nice work from him. So Chris Cooley is on a lap right now. He's 2 tenths up on his best time. He's just dropped down to 1.5 tenths in fact. Jamie Koza is out there, so is Hind and Webley. So the top 5 drivers in fact, are all up there. That's Koza, Cooley, Hind, Kale and Webley, all out on track right now as we're about to hit the halfway mark. Cooley makes his way P13. So that's Crocodiles, and then this right-hander coming up is Cheetah. Takes that perfectly. This could be a good lap from him right now. Half a second up. This could be pole position here. Provisional pole position. Chris Kyalami, can you do it? Oh, he just misses out by 3,000ths of a second. No, 300ths of a second. Right there. What about Connor Hind? He's 2.5 tenths up on his best time. That'd be good enough to get onto the front row of the grid. Not quite pole position. So let's stay with him. It's a little bit untidy there. Doesn't look like it cost him any time though. He's able to keep plenty of momentum. Comes through the final turn. Dropped a whole bunch of time there at that last corner and still remains in P3 for now. What about John Zhu? He's P8. He will improve on his time only marginally, but not enough to move up in a position. Here's Layla Bell. She's down there in 12th position right now. Currently 3.5 tenths up on her best time. That'd be good enough to get just into the top 10, I would believe. Let's see if she can do it. She does. P9. Nice work from her. Keep an eye on her during the race. No Liam Curran today. So, it's Harrison Bella who will abort that lap. Chris Kyalami, as mentioned, 3/100ths of a second off provisional pole position with less than half the session remaining. 13.5 minutes. And currently this man is giving chase to Jamie Coase, who's out there right now. Is only marginally up on his best time as well. As Kyalami, if you're able to maintain this pace to the line, he's going to take provisional pole here. And he just misses out by 5/1000th of a second. So, oh so close for Chris Kyalami. Here's John Zhu. Last time out, he took 3rd position. We couldn't quite get him in the chat in the post-race. Might have another go at that tonight. Hopefully he can be in there. 3.5 tenths up on his best time. Could that get him a ticket into the top 5? Seen plenty of drivers pushing the limits there through turn 15, through Cheetah. He's lost a little bit of time there towards the end of the lap. 1.5 tenths up on his best. And not enough to move up in position. Ethan Cahill, last time out race winner. Currently sitting P5 right now. 6 tenths off the leader. He moves into P4, so second row of the grid at the moment for last round race winner. Here's Mac Power, 2.5, no, was 2.5 tenths up, but not anymore. Koza out there, only marginally up. Kyalami and Hind both out there, but on cool down laps. Kale's in the pits. Webley's only just started his lap. Antoon's down. Smith is down. Let's see who else we can get. What about Nathan Wilson? Another Orange Express racing. In the Lamborghini. Very familiar surroundings for him. 2.5 tenths up on his best time, and not far away from commencing the final 10 minutes. A bit of a change since the last round. Gone to a full 30-minute qualifying instead of the 3 separate segments. Where can Nathan Wilson filter out? Can he get into the top 15? Oh no, he can't, because that's a lot of time there at the final part of the lap. What about Matt Niperez? Seen too much of him so far today. 2.5 tenths up on his best time. Not too sure, that wouldn't crack the top 10 right now. Can he move up a spot or two? He can. He moves up into P13. What about Webley? He's up on his best and he's going to finish pretty much dead even, and he will remain there in P5. Jamie Coase just starting another lap here. What about Hignett? He's 3.5 tenths up on his best time. That might be able to get him up towards about 12th or 13th here. Let's see as he crosses the line. 18th to 13th, so a nice jump there for him. Mac Power, he's a couple of tenths up on his best time as well. Currently P20. Might be able to sneak into that 16th position if he can hold that pace to the line. 19th, so gave him too much credit there. What about, here's Koza, so he's only marginally up, just a 10th up on his best time. Car 67 stopped there out on track, so is Eaton, Power and Wilson. And Koza's invalidated his lap, so he will not improve on this lap. Here's Matt Niperez, 2.5 tenths up, so he's continuing to improve on his time. Currently P14 right now. Can he crack the top 10? 2.5 tenths. Just leave him just marginally outside. That beautiful Williams FW26-esque livery. Comes towards the line, and P12, nice work there from Matt Niperez. Koza's invalidated his lap. Just scanning through right now. This is Harrison Barla. So Koza's out there, Kyalami is out there. They've invalidated their current laps. Hind is 3 thousandths of a second up, which I will get to very shortly. He's only 35 seconds into the lap. I might stick with Barla and see where he can shake out. He's 3 tenths up on his best time, so that would position him maybe P23, P22. We'll see as he makes the short run to the line. He's improving. He improves to P22. Nice work from him. All right, here's Ray Smith. 1.5 tenths up. Had to be good enough to move up a position. Lost a little bit of time out of the final turn. And no good there. Bell. What about Layla Bell? Oh, running a little bit wide there at Cheetah. So that's invalidated her lap. Chris Kyalami. So Koza's out there. He's on a cooldown lap right now. Let's stick with Chris Kyalami. Only marginally down right now. He only needs to find 5/1000th of a second. Can he do it? Makes up a little bit of time there. Koza is now starting another lap. Kale's finishing off a lap, but he's 1.5 seconds down, so he won't move from P4. Hind is out there. He's just started his lap. And Kyalami has aborted that one by the looks of things. What about Phil Antoon? 3.5 tenths up on his best time. That might be the second row of the grid here. Yeah, it is P4. Nice work, Phil Antoon. So Kyalami has gone again. Kale has gone again. Ray Smith is out there. He's a 10th up on his best time. He's just over 0.130 behind Webley. Can he improve enough to move up from 7th to 6th? Doesn't look like it at this stage, and no, he doesn't. What about Hind? 3.5 tenths off the pole position of Jamie Koza. He's out there, but he's 3 tenths down on his current lap. 6 minutes 20 left to go, so we're coming towards the business end of this qualifying session. And Hind gets a little bit untidy there coming out of Cheetah. Seen plenty of drivers do that already. Lost him a little bit of time. Looks like he's made that up at the final corner. Can he move up a spot on the second row of the grid? Oh, just misses out. So P3 for now. What about Kurt Moss? Currently 14th. Best time of 1:41.492. So he's got to make up a couple of tenths here to move in front of Matt Niperez. He's going to make up a couple of spots here. Might even get into P12. Or at least 13th. Oh, neither of them. Alright, sorry. I'll just stop trying to predict the times. Back to Connor Hind. So the top three are all out there on flying laps right now. to tick over, 5 minutes remaining. The first in order will be this man here, Connor Hines. So let's stick with him. We'll go on board. He comes up to the very, very tricky turn number 10, Laycop. And then 11, then it's down the hill. Take this flat. And it's like, you want to, just want to get the car as left as possible there to get the nice turn in, which he does. Up the hill, almost another sort of blind braking point. That's up a whole bunch of time at the final turn, and then loses it. Doesn't make up enough to move ahead of Kyalami. Don't think he can. No, he can't, so he remains there in P3 for now. Jamie Koza, he was 10th up coming into the final turn. Scrubbed up a little bit of speed there, and that is not an improvement on his time. What about Chris Kyalami? This is looking good for him right now. He's half a 10th up, almost a full 10th up on his best time, which would put him in pole position. Less than 4 minutes remaining in qualifying, so time is starting to tick by. And Kyalami, as he makes his run to the line, he's going to take pole position here. Provisional pole, Chris Kyalami. Great work from him. That's 1.13, almost 1.5 tenths faster than this man here, Jamie Koza, who sat on pole position for quite a while. Matt Niperez, can he improve his position? He does. He goes into P10 for now. This is Matthew Herod, Disciples of Speed entry, the 450 Porsche. Porsche got a reduction to 10 kilos worth of ballast. Where is he on the lap? Yeah, we'll get to Hind, who's just tucked in behind him. Who's up? Oh, we see him just run off the circuit there, so that puts an end to his lap. So Hind, he's gone in, teleported back to the pits. Herod in 16th position there. Jamie Koza currently 3/10ths down on his best time, so not looking like he will improve at this stage of the lap. Plenty of cars in the pits now. Still a fair chunk left out on circuit though. Just under 2.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. This is Brandon Webley, Team Webley, the number 26 Ferrari. He's a 10th up on his best time. That should be, or that would have been enough to get him into P5, but he just misses out. So Ethan Cale stays safe there for now. There's Michael Pickford. So Kyalami, our pole position sitter, is in the pits. Koza's out there on a lap. He's just started 35 seconds into the lap. Hind has invalidated his lap. Antoon in 4th. He's a 10th down on his best time. Ethan Cale is dead even with his time right now. Webley is down on his best. Latanzio Smith. So we'll stick with Pickford for now, trying not to miss any of the action. As Pickford comes through the final turn, this should get him up a couple of spots, maybe just ahead of Bell, and he goes up into P10 a couple of spots, so nice work from him. Here's Koza. He's even with his best time right now of 40.280. He's about 1.5 tenths off pole position right now, 0.130 to be precise. As we're moving into the final minute of qualifying, can Koza pull something out here? This will be his second to last chance. Makes up a little bit of time there at the final turn, but it's not going to be enough. He will improve on his best time, but only just. And he remains there in P2 for now. Just trying to find any cars out here on a valid lap that are in the green. Koza will go again. Kyalami's put the Q in the rack, so he is happy to watch the final proceedings from the cockpit. Here is Carter. Can he improve from P18? No, not looking like it. Alright. Who else? I'm just trying to find someone. Antoon, he's currently P4. 10 seconds left in this qualifying session. So this is going to be it for the remainder of the drivers out on track. And first cab off the rank is going to be this man. So I'm with the right car. And he is 2/10 down on his best time. So, and then, yeah, that's Q in the rack there. What about Herod? He's almost half a second up on his best time. So this will be a nice little boost for him. Could he squeeze into the top 10? It's pretty packed there between 10th and 13th. Where can he shape out? P14. All right, I got my hopes up a little bit there. Hignett. Oh, he's not going to improve on his time by the looks of it. Oh, he might. I don't think it's going to be enough to move up a position. He was doing donuts in the pit lane earlier on, and 16th is the best for that he can do. Here's Nando Latenzio. He's a couple of tenths up on his best time. Could he sneak into the top 5 here right at the death? He can! He goes on the second row of the grid. He goes into P4. Lando Latenzio pulling it out at the end of the session. Kurt Moss, he good enough for P14. Webley, the only other driver of note out there. The rest of them are either finished or in the pits. We're in the countdown timer, and Webley is not going to improve on his time. So it is going to be Jamie Koza took it out at the last second. I didn't see that. I do apologise, but Jamie Koza is pole position sitter. Great work from him. Connor Hind. Where did Chris Cooley? Now, where did Chris Cooley go? Did he have a disconnection of some sort, perhaps? He's down there in P34, so I'm not too sure what happened to him there. But so it was Cooley, but Kozo is now on pole position. So Koza, Hind, Antoon, Latenzio, Kale, Webley, Smith, Zoo, Pickford, Niperez. So that is our top 10. Be back in about a minute and a half. Oh, he DQ'd himself. Right, thanks Gorilla Snapper. All right, I'll be back in like 90 seconds. So sit tight. We'll be back with the beginning of round number 2. All right, welcome back, everyone. So we are not far away from cars moving away from the grid for their formation lap. Yeah, so Chris Cooley in the end ended up DQing himself, and we'll now be starting from P34 on the grid as the cars are about to move away from the grid. All the lights are on, Nando Latenzio just turned his on. He's got the Enduro lights on. So Jamie Koza is going to lead him away. Our pole position sitter. Connor Hind, who was on pole position last time out. He is he's in P2. It's going to be fun. Very dark. Phil Antoon, so 8 to 8 o'clock in game time. As mentioned, it's a time multiplier of 1, so it's not going to get any lighter. Nando Latenzio, they're in P number 4. Ethan Cale starting from P5, so seeing if he can go back to back. This is Webley, so a good start from him. P6 in 7th. 566 Ferrari, that's Ray Smith. John Zhu, top 10 start for him. He'll be starting from 8th. Michael Pickford in the Bentley, starting from 9th. Matt Niperez in 10th. We're watching this beautiful scene of these cars making their way, all headlights ablaze. Layla Bell starting from 11th. 12th is going to be Butterworth in the McLaren Herod. Disciples of Speed entry in 13th. 14th is going to be Kurt Moss in the Aston Martin. Benjamin Hignett for Young Henrys. He's going to be starting in P number 15. Johnny Eaton in the Ferrari from 16th. Just in behind him is going to be Carter in the 559 Lamborghini. Skinny Luke, good result for him up there in 18th position. Grant Begg starting the race from 19th. Mac Powell will be right behind him, so a couple of McLarens in 19th and 20th. Christian Wells, he'll start the race from 20th. Barla will begin the race, aptly named Rainlight Racing, in 22nd. Mark Stevens in 23rd. 24th, Greg Brock in that beautiful looking Audi. Louis van der Venter in the number 99. He's going to start from 25th. Andrews, Lucky Andrews in 26th. 27th is Bozic. Foster starting from 28th. Robbins in the 666 BMW 29th. And then O'Brien in 30th in the Jag. Cole starting from 31st. Chris Cooley, I'm here for the memes. He's almost been a meme tonight. 32nd. 33rd is Hayden Marsh. 34th is Daniel Quarantoto, and Nathan Wilson did not qualify in P35, so yeah, good luck trying to see which cars are which in this light. Yeah, that was what I was thinking as well. So I don't know what's happened to Nathan Wilson, but I thought he had a decent qualifying session. He'll begin the race from pit lane, but here we go. So come through the final turn. Hopefully Breno will be with me not too far away. Just have to put up with me by myself for a little bit longer as Koza has a fair old lead there, and we should get the signal very shortly. There it is. Koza almost unopposed there. Round number 2 is underway, and Toon in there, Hind, Latenzio, a good jump. There comes Ethan Cale, Webley and Smith. They're all going to filter through turn 2. The proper first turn of the track though, and it looks like everyone has managed to get through without any issues. So great. As I say that, Layla Bell goes around, so she's spun, and that's the sight on board from her. There's a couple of others there as well, so she's going to have to flick spin that Porsche around and keep on going. I think I probably missed the replay there. Koza's got a jump. Koza's got a drive-through penalty as well. So I thought he looked out of position there. So very not too sure what was going on there, but he was quite clearly a fair way in front of the other cars already. So not too sure if that's been given by race controllers. Latenzio putting the move up the inside of John Zhu. Nice work from Latenzio. He started in 4th. Dropped down into 6th, now in 5th, fighting off John Zhu right now as we look behind from the Aston Martin. And looks like he's managed to get that done. So big news, Jamie Koza serendipitously started there from P1. So look at that beautiful sight. All of these cars coming through the final part of the lap here. All lights ablaze. This is fantastic sights. So make for some very tidy replays as well. And then Chris Bosick right at the very rear of the field. But it's Jamie Koza in P1 right now. Beginning of the second lap. Laps don't matter though. It's the time that matters. And Kyalami already has made up a number of spots. So he's already made up 6 spots from starting in 32nd. We've got a couple of other cars fighting for position there. That's O'Brien in the Jaguar. Oh, Greg Brock. What's happened, Greg Brock? And Louis Van de Venter. I'm trying to catch him. There he is. Oh, what's happened? Let's see if I can pick it up here. Go to the helicopter cam. I can't see. Oh, I think Greg Brock is just up ahead because I originally saw his go yellow, and this might give us a bit more of an idea. And oh, so Brock just got untidy, and then oh, he just clipped another one as well. So he just got caught up. He was a bit of a passenger there, and looks like Herod made a bit of a mischief there too. So a couple of little bit of bad luck for some of the drivers there. Jamie Koza though continues to lead this one. He's got the drive-through penalty next to his name, so I'm not too sure if that was given to him by the game or by the stewards. Nonetheless, he's going to have to serve it. He'll have to serve it in the next lap, I do believe. And now he's in now. All right, he's serving that. So that means Phil Antoon now moves into P1 of this one. Connor Hind in second. Third, Cale Latenzo has moved up back to where he started in P4. Zoo, fifth, Smith, Webley, Nipperez, Moss, and Begg. That's your top 10 right now. Field still tightly compacted. Had plenty of action in the early stages of this one. And we're only just getting started. We've got 2 hours. Nice big field though. And there's Koza. Oh, I think Koza's out. Koza's gone. He's out. So I'm not too sure what's happened there, but Jamie Koza is out of this one. So he's done. What about Robbins in that KISS entry there? Down in 28th. Chris Kyalami continues on the charge. He's already 19th after starting 32nd. Took pole position, DQ'd himself. Stop and go penalty for car 471, causing a collision. That is Hignet. So stop go 10-second penalty. That is from the stewards. See the exhaust there lighting up as Kyalami takes the position, and it looks like Smith was able to get the job done there as well. Let's see if we can pick it up. It caught right at the end of it. So this is Smith on Webley in the number 26. Ooh, a little bit of contact there, a little bit of elbows out action, but it looks like Smith manages to take it. And he is now in 6th position as we go back to live pictures momentarily. And yeah, alright. And looks like Nipperez has managed to get past Webley. So Webley just dropping a couple of spots in the early stages of this one. He's got Moss not too far away from him. So he's looking to make a move on Webley. We go on board the Aston Martin. So right now it's Phil Antoon. He's 1.1 seconds ahead of Hind. Kyle's a second. Cale is a second behind him. It's the leaders at the front in a moment. So Moss following Webley and Nipperez. Let's get back to the action at the front though. So this is Hind. He's less than a second behind Phil Antoon, but that's Ethan Cale behind him. And that's Phil Antoon just ahead of him there. Last lap around, Antoon did a 41.7. The fastest lap of the race so far, a 42 flat and a 42 flat to Hind and Kale. So give you an idea of the pace at the front. Still early stages. Track temperature is pretty stable right now, 20 degrees. Matches the air temperature. Is that optimum? Not expecting any weather. We saw lots of rain last time out in Zolder. Not looking likely to get a repeat of that in round number 2 of this summer series. Only a short, sharp one. 3 rounds. Next time we go off to Bathurst in a couple of weeks. So that'll be very exciting as Hignett, he's serving his stop-go penalty. So he comes into the pits. We go back to Zoo and Latenzio. They're having a battle there for 4th and 5th right now. As I might go to M Power because looks like he's been able to put a move on Skinny Luke. And there you go. So coming out of the final turn. Down the front straight. And everything's going to go up the inside here of turn number 2. And there it is. Yeah, nice work from him. Oh, hang on. Got something wrong with Eaton. Or did he make a little bit of contact? Oh, we got a couple of cars with contact. Carter has gone around. So is Harrison Barla as well. So, this is a very precarious spot for Carter. Let's just go see what happened here. Oh, they're all 3 of them were together. And what happens here? That's Begg just up ahead. Oh, he makes contact right into the wall there. That was a relatively hard hit. Oh, then that is Mac Power looking to go up the inside. And that is where we found the stricken Lamborghini there of John Carter, has now dropped down into 30th position as we go back to live pictures. And he's still there right now. So we'll hopefully get that going again as Eaton is into the pits. Chris Cooley on the charge has already moved up into P14. So he started in 32nd. So he's been one of the big movers right now, up 18 spots. So is Hayden Marsh, who's tucked in behind him. You can kind of see that livery. It was drawn by his daughter. And what's happened to Quarantoto there? Just a little bit of a drama for him. Christian Wells is up 10 spots as well in the early stages of this one too. As we're watching Webley and Niperez. Now in terms of what's happening out in front, it's a second the gap between Antoon and Hind. Antoon 41.3 that last lap, Hind a 41.5. So a couple of tenths advantage to Antoon. Kale was a 41.6 on that last lap. So pace at the front, 41s, mid to low 41s. What is Chris Cooley doing? He did a 44.2 on that last lap, so he might have been contending with a little bit of traffic down there in wherever he is right now. This is Cole. Oh, what happened, Cole? Mitchell Cole. Let's see if we can pick it up here. That is the Jaguar, and just up ahead of him, that's O'Brien. And they're coming down through, I think that's through Sunset. Where does it go wrong for him here? Oh, almost made contact with the Jag, so he lost that by himself. And Nathan Wilson, where are you, Nathan Wilson? Oh, there he is. So how did he get there? Let's see if we can pick it up here. So making his way, that looks like it's at the tail end of the lap. Oh yeah, Cheetah got him. Yeah. So Cheetah's claimed the first victim. And that's Nathan Wilson, who did start from the pit lane. He's currently in P27 right now. So I think he was in the wars the last time around in round number 1 at Zolder. So get back to live images right now. That was the remnants of Nathan Wilson. Back out in front though, it's less than a second the gap between Antoon and Hind, 41.682 to 41.762. So nothing in it right now as far as pace between Antoon and Hind. Ethan Cale, he's 2.3 seconds further back from these guys. You can just see him in the background there. Latenzio, he is a further 4 seconds behind these guys. But he's got John Zhu for company in the Porsche at a pretty decent ballast reduction, minus 10 kilos for this round. They come up through into turn number 2. This is Cawthorne. Tanzio 42.6, John Zhu 42.7. So they're matching each other's pace right now. Looks like Niperez putting the move on Smith. Nice work there from the BMW driver. He moves himself up into P6, and Chris Cooley continues his hard charge through the field, currently in P12 right now. So he's moved up 20 spots in 13 minutes. Unbelievable from him. Maybe he DQ'd himself on purpose, perhaps. Wanted to have a bit of fun coming up from the rear of the field. He's not too far away from Begg in that powder blue McLaren, the 210, sorry. And just back to the front of the field, so this is the gap, so less than a second between Antoon and Hind, and there's Cale in the background. Begg! Oh, he's going backwards. What happened, Grant Begg? Let's see if we can pick it up here. So Cooley was tucked in behind him as he lost it by himself here. Oh, he's run a little bit wide. And on the ripple strip, where is this on the track? This looks like it might be not far from the ripple strip there. Just unsettled the car. Oh, that's a decent old whack as well into the wall there. So he's going to have a little bit of damage from that. We go back to live pictures. So that's Robbins and Hignett wanting to try and make his way through there. So Barlow got through. Herod made a move on Foster. And this is still up for grabs right now between these two. They're battling it out down in 24th and 25th right now. So we might step away from that action because John Zhu just looking for a way past. He's been following super close to Latenzio these last couple of laps now. It's half a second the gap. Their pace is almost identical. And John Zhu just looking for his opportunity to try and get past. Place the car exactly where the widget asked, under the speed limit, and still drive through. That's Jamie Koza. So there you go. He's given us the explanation there. So not too sure why the game gave him a drive through, but it did nonetheless, and he is out. Herod has made a move, and then Barla has managed to get past Robbins as well. They were scrapping it out down there in 22nd, 23rd. They got O'Brien just ahead of them, but at the front of the field, the gap has continued to close. So Antoon and Hind, it's at half a second right now. Very, very similar lap times. Hind was a 10th faster on the previous lap. These two going at it for the race victory. Cale's just dropped off a little bit further. So he was at 2.5 seconds. He's now at 3.7. His last lap was a 41.860. So a little bit slower than the two guys up ahead of him, which would give us a reason why he's just dropping back a little bit further. In the field, got a little bit more action going on at the back. This is Hignett and Begg coming down the front straight. Oh, what's happened to Stevens? Ooh, he was going very slowly. Let's see. So this is the final turn. We went too far away from this originally. Let's see if we can just pick up what happened here. Need to change the replay length. Well, here we go. So into turn 2. And just a very, very slow spin there at turn 2. So, and that's where we picked him up. Alright, so get back to live pictures. I saw some yellow. This is Layla Bell. So she started in P11. She finds herself in P13 right now. So she's got Skinny Luke just up ahead of her. These are two of the closer cars on track. Hignett and Robbins continue to swap positions down there in 23rd and 24th. We'll stick with the action here. Bell launching an attack up the inside through the final turn. It's going to be a drag race down the front straight there. And the Porsche wins out and gets a flash from Skinny Luke saying, what's going on? Or maybe that was an acknowledgement of good work. Not too sure. Nonetheless, Layla Bell has moved her Porsche number 8 into P12. And I'm sure Skinny Luke will want to launch his own attack back as soon as he possibly can. I think there was some talk in the chat. I was in one of the chats I was looking at this week around lights flashing and whether it was kosher and within the spirit of things. A couple of other people made it known what they think of people who flash, so I say each to their own. Nothing more annoying though than being a backmarker and getting flashed by a faster car coming through. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure I can see you. I've got the blue flags waving, but anyway, nonetheless. So Hind, last lap around Antoon did a 41.7. What does he do this one? 41.175, a 41.482. So Antoon just turning it up a little bit. Can Zhu, get past Latenzio. He's been behind him for the majority of the race so far, which is almost 20 minutes old. And it's going to be another Porsche we're seeing in a drag race down the front straight. Latenzio's going to have the inside line here for turn number 2. You can see fire belching out from the exhaust there. But John Zhu gets the move done. So he moves up into P4. He'll be looking for a repeat of his podium performance from last round. He's only one spot away. He's 9 seconds back from 10 seconds back now from Ethan Cale there in P4. So he's got a bit of work to do. But here's Hind continuing to just chip away here at the rear of the BMW. Phil Antoon leading this one. Hind was fast in the practice servo. Started second on the grid. That's where he finds himself. Phil Antoon, he started third on the grid. Currently in P1. So these two battling it out at the moment is Eaton. He's in, just coming out of the pits. And race just started to settle down. We've still got 32. Where's Chris Cooley? He's in 11th right now. And he is about to make another overtake. That's Wells in the Mercedes. And there goes Chris Cooley. So he has moved up 22 spots in 21 minutes. He's going at a spot a minute right now. Does that mean in the next 10 minutes we'll see him in the lead? We'll have to wait and see. He's 8 seconds behind Kurt Moss, so he's got a bit of time to make up there. But Chris Cooley on an absolute charge right now, starting from the rear of the grid. Back to the battle out in front. Antoon is a little bit slower on that last lap, 3/10 slower in fact than Hind. At the slight advantage, but the gap sits at half a second right now. Got a few other little dogfights throughout the field. Try and cover. Herbertron cheering on the Ruse drivers. I hate lights flashing. I know they're coming up to me. Yes, Yes, that is my thoughts exactly. As behind, I don't know where Breno Aaes is. Oh, Smith, what happened? Ray Smith down there in 7th position. He's collided with the wall. Let's see if we can pick up exactly what's happened here. I think that is through Sunset. Let's see if we can pick up exactly what's happened. Oh, he had a little bit of a wobble there. Oh, there it is. And then into the wall. So he's currently P9 right now as we go back to live images. But Herod managed to get past Brock as well while we're looking at that too. So Matthew Herod, the Disciple of Speed entry, the 450, the Porsche, moves himself up into 15th at the expense of Greg Brock. But Greg Brock, he started in 24th, sorry. He's moved up 8 spots. Who else has been another big riser? Christian Wells, he's moved up 10 positions as we watch this battle unfold. What's happened? Harrison Barla manages to get going again, so all's well that ends well. The other one, Marsh, he's moved up 19 spots, started 33rd, currently in P14, the Taco Sport entry. He's had a great start, and so has John Foster. He started 28th, he finds himself 18th, so he's moved up 10 positions. And then the big fallers would be Eaton. He started 16th in 26th. And the other one is Michael Pickford. He started in 8th. He's 28th. He's 28th right now, and he's had a pit stop already, 1:31 in total. So maybe that's a par time. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Jamie Koza had the drive-through penalty at the end. That was enough for him to decide to leave. So Phil Antoon still continues to lead this one. The gap has just grown out to 1.3 seconds now. He was 4/10ths faster on that previous lap. So maybe Connor Hind might just be thinking, I can't necessarily match him for pace here. Might just wait until the first round of pit stops. I think it's about halfway mark the last time out. So we'll see what it's like for this round. But we're watching Matt Niperez. He started in P number 10. He's moved up 4 spots. He's in 6th, chasing down Nando Latenzio, who started in 4th position, currently occupying P5 on the circuit, as Eaton and Cole get a move done. Nice work by those guys. And then we've got Louis van der Venter, the South African. So this is his home circuit. Yeah, too bad it's so dark. These beautiful liveries, especially this one. But it gives us a chance to go on board and get some nice cockpit views. All illuminated. Looks great. Last lap around, 42.5 to Latenzio, 42.2 to Niperez. So he had the advantage on him on the previous lap. Does the BMW. Have to try and convert that into a pass. Easier said than done. Race really settled down right now. The gap between first and second, 4.6 seconds behind them is Kale in third. Zoo's almost Zoo. I keep on messing that up. Sorry, John Zoo. He's 10 seconds. Ray Smith again. That's a big hit. That is Cheetah. Cheetah's claimed another one. This is going to be a big one. Let's go on board with him. So it's coming up. Not this corner here. Oh, he's already a little bit messy through there. And then, boom. Yep. And that puff of dust, bang. That's a big hit too. So he's decided to pit as well. It's the only silver lining to having an accident at that part of the track. He goes into the pits. Chris Bozic, the Barbie entry. He's moved up a spot on Eaton. And then the other little battle going on a little bit further back is Harrison Bala in the number 21 Mercedes. He's chasing down Robbins in the 666 BMW. The gap back to 1.1 seconds now between Antoon and Hind. Last lap, 41.6 to Antoon, 41.7 to Hind. So that seems to be at a bit of a stalemate right now. And we're watching Barber, who started in P number 31. No, he didn't. He started in P22. Robbins started in 29, so he's moved up 7 spots. And it was Cole, who's behind Bala. He started in 31st. He's up 7 spots right now. Smith still in the pits repairing that damage from his accident earlier on. And this is Barlett sending it down the inside. Yeah, nice move. That was out of Clubhouse. Going up through the S's here now. It's a nice move there from the number 21. He's in 22nd position. Niperez still finds himself behind the Aston Martin of Nando Latenzio. Hope you're all enjoying the stream. Hope you're all having a good Saturday night. Hope you've had a good weekend as well. Those of you who didn't have to work today. Hope you've had some nice weather wherever you are in the world. We're getting towards the business end of the year, aren't we? Christmas, not far away. We'll be here before you know it, as it is every year. As we go on board with Niperez. So he started in 10th position, currently occupying P6. And the gap at the front. See, plenty of dust there, kicked up at Cheetah. Yeah, the gap out in front between Hind and Antoon still hovering between 1 to 1.5 seconds. Traffic will start to play a little bit of a part. We're 30 minutes in, so we're at the quarter way mark. How many cars have we had in the pits so far? 6 in total. Eaton, Pickford, Smith, Power and Quarantoto. They occupy the bottom 5 positions as Niperez is able to get the pass done. Nice work from him, and he moves now into P5. He continues his strong start to the race. Isn't that cool? The number is illuminated there. Latangio just getting quite a little bit untidy out of turn 7. Turn 6 it was, I believe. At Sunset. So he'll be pushing hard to try and make up that position. Got a bit of a purple illumination there in his cockpit. But yeah, the race settled into a nice rhythm. What's happened to Foster? He's dropped down a couple of spots. Not too sure what happened to him. Here's Stevens and Hignett. They're going at it, and Hignett gets the position. Let's see how that came about. So coming out of the final turn. Oh, that was what we saw. So the Audi, that was Foster. As Hignett pulling out of the draft, and he's going to send it up the inside. And that's the wrong one. There we go. There they are. Beautiful as we go back to live pictures now. Layla Bell closing in on Christian Wells in the Mercedes. She was a second faster last lap. What does it look like this trip around? So Wells a 43 flat, a 42.6 to Bell. She has the advantage. go on board with her. Making up plenty of ground under brakes on that Mercedes, a multicoloured Mercedes. Almost like just gets a little bit loose there. Coming out of turn 5, that was barbecues. Wonder how tyres are going right now. As well, track temperature 19, matching the air temperature once again. So we started off at 20, still at optimum though. You would think it's only going to get colder. It is 8:38 in game time. So pressures are going to be important once again. We had a bit of it was a strange situation last round at Zolder where it was still extremely high temps, but it was raining. So a few drivers got caught out there at the end of the race with incorrect pressures, which caused a few tyre issues, some punctures at the end. But that's a nice move there from Layla Bell. She sends it up the inside. Nice work. Gonna keep on fighting here. Yeah, nice move from Layla Bell. So she moves into P10. Good work from her. Where did she start? She started in 11th. There you go. So she's made up one spot. Now having a look at the front of the field, Connor Hind, he's now almost 2 seconds behind Phil Antoon. So last lap around, Antoon did a 42 flat, Hind did a 42.3. So yeah, maybe he's just happy to conserve his tyres, conserve his fuel right now, because he wasn't making up enough ground earlier on Antoon. He was able to just keep him in check. So wait and see how that all unfolds. We're a quarter of the way through this. This is round number 2, the Aaes Summer Series. Round number 3 coming up in a couple of weeks, which will be the finale at Bathurst, as Bell's starting to pull away from Wells now. So let's jump across to Matthew Herod. Oh, he runs quite wide there. That was out of Sunset into turn 7, which is Clubhouse. Just getting a little bit squirrely out of there. So he's chasing down Marsh, but Barla is a lot closer though. There we go. He's right on the rear of the 604 Audi belonging to John Foster. Going to go side by side here. This is going through turn 6. The right-hander. Overtaking opportunity through 7. Going up the inside. Has a look. As we go on board with Foster, and the Mercedes crawling all over the rear of the Audi. They go side by side and can't quite get it done. This is great stuff. Foster putting on an excellent performance, and he's going to have the inside line here, Barla. He does, and he gets through. But that was a great scrap between him and Foster. Great racing between the two. Clean, hard and fair, and great stuff. So the number 21 Mercedes moves up into position 20. Oh, we got a couple of yellow flags. Webley is one of them, and Foster was the other one. What happened to Webley? Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay. Oh, he was already having dramas when we get to him. Let's see. Is he still with us, Webley? I don't know if he's disconnected. It's looking like he possibly has. I can't see him anywhere, and as he's just pulled over to the side of the road, so that might indicate that he is no longer in the race. As we go back to live pictures, and I believe he is gone. So yeah, I think Webley has exited. Back to the on-track action though. This is Eaton and Cole. They're down there in 25th and 26th. And we're down to 30 right now. Well, I say down to, that's still a pretty healthy field. As these two going through Sunset. The Sunset a long time ago in this race. Oh, that was Cole and Foster. He's in the wars again. There we see him in the background. What happened? So he wasn't far behind the cars that we were watching. And let's see it here. Oh yeah, coming up towards Barbecues, the left hand. Oh yeah, just lost the back end there and went around. So back to live pictures. He's still with us. So beautiful. Just lost the place to. Oh no, that was Quantoto coming through. It's Bentley of Pickford. So that's 4 position as well. It's a lot harder. Where's Chris Cooley? Was that him just there? It was. So he's in 8th spot. Oh, no, not necessarily, but we'll pick him up anyway. So he's in 8th position. Last time we checked, he was 9.5 seconds off Kurt Moss. He is now less than 3 seconds off the Aston Martin in P7. He is lapping in the 43s, a 43.340. That was actually 0.3 slower than Moss on the previous lap. So his charge is running out of a little bit of steam, right now as we get back to Herod. So just the gap, the race out in front. So 1.4 seconds is the gap between Antoon and Hine. That's why I'm not on it right now. Kale is almost 7 seconds behind Hind. Zoo is 10.8 in seconds behind Kale in 4th. Niperez 1.5 seconds behind Zoo as well. So it's all sort of pretty quiet at the front of the field right now. Who was that? Car 27. It's Marsh. How did he get there? Let's see how this came about. So this is into turn number 2. This is way through there without any dramas. And oh yeah, just lost the back end on the ripple strip, and around he goes. So he's going to get going again, and down there in P13 for now. Niperez has made up ground on Zoo. So Niperez currently finds himself in P5, just over half a second behind Zoo right now, who's occupying 4th position. And Niperez was a second faster on that previous lap as well. Faster than John Zoo. Let's go on board. Been on board Niperez a bit so far in this race. Just over 40 minutes into. Thinking about having a little go there, just showing the nose. No flashing. Louis van der Venter. What happened, Louis? Let's see if we can pick it up here. So is that Andrews? It is, the 77 in the Aston Martin. So they're down in 16th and 17th. And oh no, I thought we might have got another one at Cheetah. Herod, who's got yellows next to his name as well. Oh, he's just lost it on the little inside curve there on the final turn. And then Herod has had a drama. That's Greg Brock and Marsh who managed to squeak through there as well. So Didn't look like anything too serious. Here's Chris Boswick. He's in 21st. So the battle between Zoo and Aaes that we're looking at, that's just over half a second. Have a look at this livery. Great stuff from Chris Boswick in the Barbie livery. And, oh, what's happened to Marsh? Oh, he goes around again. So he's in the wars a little bit. Hayden Marsh in the Taco Sport entry. As we go back to Aaes, I was just admiring the Barbie livery of Chris Boswick, who's just a couple of cars behind the two cars on screen, as Greg Brock gets a move done. We should show a replay of that, I reckon. The man who is the driving force behind all of this. Oh, that was Marsh just up ahead, so that's why he's been able to get through there. So we'll get back to live pictures very, very shortly as Greg Brock continued on his way. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Cool. All right. So Aaes, and then Herod. Here we go. This is Hayden. This is Marsh, Hayden Marsh. I wonder if he's any relation to Matthew Marsh. Probably not. But Herod moves through there, now occupying P13. He started the race in 13th. Marsh started the race in 33rd. So despite his little dramas, he's still moved up 19 spots from where he started, which is absolutely phenomenal. And now he's Chris Cooley, so that gap is at half a second. He did lap nearly a second, just over a second faster on the previous lap than Kurt Moss. So this is seeming a little bit inevitable here for Moss. Do his best to fight him off, but it's going to be tough to keep the number 69 Aston Martin behind him as of right now. Here we go. He's going to send it down the inside of turn 7, and he gets it done on Clubhouse. So he puts the Aston Martin in the rearview mirror, and the next car he will be targeting is Nando Latenzio, who is 7.5 seconds up the road. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but in saying that, he lapped 0.8 faster on that previous lap than Latenzio. So Chris Cooley continues his rise up the field as Hignett making a stop. I don't think that was for any penalty or anything like that, so that's a scheduled stop for him 45 minutes into this one. No driver, no pit windows or anything in this one. Here's Andrews. Oh, how'd you get there, Lockie Andrews? That's at Barbecue. Let's have a look here. So he's coming up the front straight, goes through turn 1, the kink, navigates through turn 2 without any dramas. And this is where it becomes a bit of an issue. So, like, as I said, uphill braking zone here. It's a bit blind. And, he's just made a little mistake there and given the wall just a little bit of a nudge. So, that's not too bad in the end for him. And Marsh, he's just got troubles galore right now. He's battling away right now down there in 14th position. This is Herod and Brock in 12th and 13th. So Herod, he started 13th. Greg Brock, he started 24th. So he's made up 12 spots in the first 45 minutes of this one. And out in front still, it's 1.2 seconds the gap between Antoon and Hind. Last lap around, Hind did a 41.585, a 41.857 to Antoon. So about 0.3 in it between first and second in terms of pace. Stop, go. Penalties. I saw that. Who's that? Car 566. That is Ray Smith. I wonder what that was. Nothing really springs. Oh, he's hit the wall. So insult to injury. And is that a... I wonder if he's staying. Oh, Mark Stevens has got an issue as well. able to keep that going. And I think Ray Smith might be out. Oh, Herod got past Brock. Let's go back to that and see how that came about. So I think this was out of turn 5. Yeah, into 6. Oh, a big slide as well from Herod. That's turn 7 of Clubhouse. He's got to go down the inside here by the looks of things. And the Porsche with a minus 10 kilos of ballast in this one. And he gets that move done. So he moves up into P12. Bala as well. I'm showing the lower part of the field right now because, yes, I think Ray Smith is out. I think he saw that penalty and he had the off there, and that was enough for him to decide he doesn't want to spend his Saturday night doing that. Hignett taking the PI55 right now. I'm not too sure what that was referring to. Brad Cook. A couple of cars in the pits. One of them is Greg Brock. The other is Hayden Marsh. Back to Bala. He's chasing down Andrews down the front straight. We saw Lockie Andrews have a bit of a drama a lap or two ago. We'll be hoping that doesn't happen again here, as we're not too far away from the halfway mark of this one. Round number 2 of the Aaes Summer Series. Hey, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're liking what you see, give us a like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of action coming on the Race on Oz TV YouTube channel. Ooh, this is my man. We're getting another person in here. Yeah, beautiful. Jump on in. Oh, yep. I can see Breno's in there. I can't hear you there, Breno.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now, I know what... Oh, yeah. I've got your volume turned up to 100 as well. How are you, Breno?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself, Nick?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for jumping in. Welcome.
That's all right. I've missed the first 50 minutes, and it seems like a bit's happened. I caught the end of quali, and I remember seeing a Ferrari up the top, so just curious what happened to him.
Yeah, so that was Jamie Koza. Now, so at the start of the race, he was in his position. He did jump into the chat to let us know exactly what happened, but he said that he was in the exact position where he needed to be, where the widget asked, under the speed limit, and still got a drive-through penalty. So he decided that was enough for him, and he exited the race not long after that. So, and then quali, Chris Cooley qualified in P1, but he got himself disqualified at the end of qualifying, and he found himself starting in P32, but he's worked his way up into P7 right now, so he's on a bit of a charge. He's 3.2 seconds behind. Oh, see it. Andrews and Bala just go around there, making contact with one another. We'll quickly catch that on the replay. But Cooley is on the charge. Let's see just what happened here. Where are they? They're coming through turn 6, the right-hander. Let's see this through, but in the meantime, though, Antoon's been leading for the majority of it. He looks like he was moving up the inside there and just clipped him. And a bit of synchronised spinning there at the end. Those two will be getting going again. But for the majority of the race, it's been Antoon leading it. It's just less than a second now, the gap between Hind. It was at about 2 seconds not that long ago, but it seems like Hind's been quite content to follow Antoon for the majority of this one. And car 21 is that's Barla getting a stop-go penalty of 10 seconds for causing an accident. So, yeah, that's... And then we've had, just bits and pieces happening all over the place. So, it's been good.
Yeah, Kyalami's one of those tracks, the racing is always really good there. Yeah, a bit of a shame for the 551 Ferrari, so I forgot his name again.
Jamie Koza.
Jamie Koza, that's right. Yeah, a bit of a shame for him, but yeah, the widget, I usually tend to try and position my car myself with the car behind, because it's dependent on the car next to you or behind you on the grid. So even if you're in your box and they're further back, sometimes it glitches out and says, nah, you're actually too far ahead, and it'll give you a drive through. So yeah, a bit of a shame for him, but hopefully we'll see him back for Panorama where he can take some revenge. Yeah,
I reckon that might have been what you've just explained there. That sounds like it's probably what's happened. Brendan Webley here. I crashed and decided to just give up and have some beers with my mate as he turned up right as the race started. There you go. All right, so can't cross you for that one. So yeah, pretty much where we're at. We're not far away from the halfway mark, and Antoon has led the majority of it, if not all of it. And Hind has been in hot pursuit, and we're watching them go down the front strip right now. A little bit of traffic up ahead. That's one of the BMWs. That is the 99. That belongs to Louis van der Venter, who lets them through. So got a good scrap going on for first position right now. Ethan Cale, the last race winner though, he's been in third the majority of the time. So he's having a quiet race by himself. He's 10 seconds back from these guys. So they're sort of pretty spread out at the front of the field, except P1 and P2, which is the way I think we all want it to be.
Yeah, always good to have battle, especially for first and second. Really keeps the race interesting. Yep. It's always good to just pull away, and have a 5 to 6 second gap with as P1, but fighting's always better to watch.
Yeah, from a spectator position, 100%. Who else do we have? Got a couple little scraps going on. So Lockie Andrews, he's in the pit, the number 77, Aston Martin. Pickford is having a little bit of scrap with Robbins, and then Eaton and Bosick just up ahead of these two. Is Pickford going to get a move done? He does, going down the inside of turn 6. And nice work from him. Not too sure how much more you've seen of the race. Been keen to get your observations and your thoughts.
Well, I haven't seen too much of the race. As I said, I just managed to snatch a little bit at the end of quali there. And then, just got home and jumped straight to the comms box. Yeah. But it seems like weather's not really playing a role here, so I reckon it's going to be an hour worth of quali pace. Just save the tyres a little bit, but push hard, do a pit stop halfway through and go again.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, the pit stop's probably going to happen at the halfway mark. Antoon, last lap around 42.6 compared to Hind of 42.5, so closing up the gap on the BMW. Then a couple of penalties in there. Barla, who's serving his now, and Hignett, a 5-second penalty down there in 21st position. And then we've had sort of just little spot fires throughout the field. Cooley's about to put a move on Latenzio. This is through turn 2. Latenzio runs quite wide there, so able to gather it back up again. He started 4th. He had a cracking end to qualifying. He took that in the dying moments of quali, so a great result there for Nando Latenzio, the number 2 Aston Martin. There's 3 Aston Martins in a row there. 6th, 7th and 8th. Cooley, Latenzio and Moss. So the Astons, they're all plus 9 kilo ballast for this race. So despite that, they're doing quite well.
Yeah, the Kunos BOP here seems a little bit off. There's some cars that are a fair amount. I know the Porsche, I believe the McLaren as well are about 8 tenths off the pace. So, and the Aston still being good at the track seems a little bit odd as well. So hopefully, I know it's based on the real life. I know we discussed this last time, but hopefully they can do something out there to help it a little bit. LFM's doing a great job, but I think the base game should have better BOP in my opinion.
Well, I guess there's not necessarily been moves on that front, but we saw there's going to be the Nordschleifer added in the not too distant future as well, which is pretty exciting. Not too sure if you're a fan of that track.
I can't say I've driven it too much over the years. I do watch a fair amount of Misha Sharudin on YouTube, so I know the track sort of well. I know the carousels and YouTube corner, but it's going to be exciting to drive it in this game because I really enjoy the physics.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting. I'm sure we'll get some plenty of endurance racing around there. So just looking at this scrap here, so Hind and Antunes just drifted back out to almost a second between these two, and that seemed to be the pattern of their battle throughout, and whereas Hind closes up and then just can't quite get that edge to launch an attack. So I feel like he's been content just to sit in behind him. But in the meantime, down in 16th and 17th, Brock and Herod. Now I think Brock has made his stop. He has. So a minute 7, which might give us a bit of an indicator of what a par time is around here. So be interesting to see as Mr. Wilson. Let's go, Ethan, bring it home for OES. Yeah. What happened to Nathan Wilson? He qualified. I don't think he didn't qualify last, but he started from the pit lane, so he had a bit of an issue there.
His previous message says, I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with myself. Blew up the engine starting it for the formation lap and then broke my wheel.
Oh, wow. All right, when bad goes to worse. All right,
I like the combination there.
All right, a rough start for him indeed. So just having a look at these guys. So these are two of the closest cars out on track. We're not too far away from the halfway mark. Matt Niperez, he's in the pits now as well, so he's making his stop, which he's pitting from P9 there. And I've just been going through the total times, trying to just get a bit of an indication on what we could expect as a par time right now. But I'm thinking anywhere between a minute 7 to a minute 12 looks like it's a non-damage pit stop at this stage. So we'll just have to wait and see as Brock getting a little bit untidy, and that's going to cost him a position as Herod moves through there. So Brock just losing out, despite though he started in where was he, Greg Brock? He started 24th, so he's up in 17th and he's made his stop. So can he get to the end though, because he did pit a little while ago, 11 minutes, so not too sure if he can get all the way to the end on that tank of fuel as Latanzio loses the spot to Kurt Moss. Might just see exactly how that came about here. That's Latanzio there just ahead, coming up towards, I think this is Latanzio just made a little mistake there, and that was enough for Moss to walk through and take away P6's. Got a little bit more action going on in the pits. One of the front runners is in the pits. We'll get back to live pictures right now. Ethan Cale is one of them, and Layla Bell. Oh, she's had to reverse, so she's just overshot her mark there. Easy to do, and that's going to cost her a bit of time. Cale is already on his way out, and Skinny Luke has got a bit of a drama there at turn 13, but he's getting himself going again. So Ethan Cale, his pit stop time was a total of 56 seconds, so that gives us a bit of an idea on what we should expect for the front runners for a non-damage pit stop there, as Skinny Luke decides to make his stop. Layla Bell still in there, Eaton in there, Barla in there as well, so is Matt Power, as we see the Porsche just wander past. But that is where we're at right now, with just a tick over the halfway mark. and it's still, well, I won't say still, because Phil Antoon, our race leader, has made his stop, and he is coming out in P8. 58 seconds was the total pit stop, so that means Hind has a total lead of 56.7 seconds. So it's going to be pretty close as Zoo is making his stop. And we'll keep an eye on Connor Hind, who's continued on this lap. Where is he right now? He is just coming through what looks like turn 7, Clubhouse. How do you go with night racing, Breno? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you a fan?
Really depends on the track, mate. So for Oz Team Racing, the only race nights, the proper pitch black race nights that we have are the 2.5 Enduros, which have about 12-hour simulator time. So we've got 10 times multiplier over 2.5 hours.
Yep.
So it'll be 24 hours, so 25 hours worth. And that's only at Spa and Nürburgring, so they're the only two tracks I really have a lot of experience driving in the night at.
Yep.
And they're both not too bad. With the headlights, you can usually see your braking reference markers pretty clearly still. But yeah, it's definitely a different challenge to driving in the daytime. And as I'm saying that, talking about those pit stops there, it looks like Antoon has actually lost about or over 2 seconds to Antoon. So Antoon has lost over 2 seconds to Kale, who's now under 10 seconds behind. So this might mean that Hind might come out ahead by about a second, I reckon, once he does pit, unless Antoon does get a bit of an undercut here, because Hind is leaving a little late.
Yeah. Well, he's continued on for another lap. Hind. His last lap around was a 41.5. Antoon was a 47 flat. So that was a post 1 lap after his stop. So that was an actual lap. Kale did a 47.6, and yeah, you're absolutely spot on that. 2 seconds faster was Ethan Kale in the pit stops, total of 56 seconds compared to Antoon of 58. But what are we thinking about Hind? Are we thinking this lap now? Because the gap is at 57 seconds to him and Antoon, and I don't think he wants to cut it any finer than that right now at this stage.
Yeah, 100% definitely wants to come in this lap, because Antoon's tyres are going to be back up to 10. He's going to be able to push this lap. So if Hind wants to not lose any more time, it'd definitely be the strategy to come in this lap. And as he rounds the final penultimate corner here, we'll see if he does come in.
Alright, so makes his way through Cheetah. Doesn't look like it at this stage. No, he's got to continue around again. So interesting from Hind, because he can continue it for 65 minutes almost on the one tank. Interesting. Niperez has managed to get his way past John Zhu as well. So Niperez, he's having a great race. He started in 10th. He's currently in P6. So he's had a great first half of this one. He'll be hoping to finish strong. And now that gap between Antoon and Hind is at 56.7 seconds. It's going to be super close. So Hind's going to have to continue the pace. He did a 42 flat that last lap around. The 2:10 slower was Hind on that previous lap to Antoon. So it's all going to count at this stage. As Hind, he's about not too far over halfway mark of the lap. And we've only got 55 minutes left in this one, so those tanks would be pretty dry by now. Let's see who comes in on this one. Bozic in the Barbie entry. This is Robbins, Shane Robbins, the 666, and that's Chris Bozic in the pits as well. Not a lot of on-track action happening. In terms of most of the pit stops have all been sorted, so the field relatively spread. Only 6 cars yet to pit. Bozic and Robbins are 2 of those, so it'll go down to 4. And Hind's going around again, Breno.
Yeah, obviously feels confident in his pace here. So 41.8. So he's got the pace to back his confidence up here. Compared to Antoon, who did 41.9 last lap. So he's not losing too much here. Obviously, the longer he goes here, the fresher tyres he's going to have at the end over Antoon. So at this point, he's got 3 laps fresher tyres. He's not losing too much, so this risk might pay off here.
I'm liking it. It's a bold strategy. Now, Chris Kuehl is the other one who's quite interesting. So he laps, on that previous lap, he was faster than Hind. What does he do this one? He goes a 41.5, so 0.3 faster than Hind, and he's 37 seconds behind him. But when you look at Kuehl to Antoon, the gap is at 48.55. So Chris Kuehl, if he continues his pace, we could have a really tight three-way fight once these pit stops shake out between Hind, Kuehl and Antoon, which is going to set us up for a absolutely cracking finish to this one. So we'll be eagerly awaiting their pit stops as we have a look at Bell and Lattanzio. Lattanzio has made his stop, and yeah, he's going to come under threat from Layla Bell. It's at a second right now. Lattanzio last lap for 43.3. Layla Bell did a 42 flat, so has the pace advantage on him right now, and his Hind's got to go around again. All right, so how far can he go?
I know the Ferrari is very good on fuel, so he might be able to go. Again, you're right. It is going to come down. It's going to be very interesting. Also, Wells has got a yellow flag there, so
let's see what
looks like he's had a bit of an off.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. That was...
feeling he might have clipped the inside curve here.
Oh, he was already... that looked pretty good. Oh, is it another one at Cheetah, possibly? I reckon it is. I reckon you're spot on, Breno. You are. You absolutely nailed it. And there's Wells. He's in P10 right now. All right, Kuehly's in the pits. So Kuehly's made his stop right now. Antoon makes his way through, and Hind is coming towards the end of his lap right now. So I thought Kuehl and Antoon might have been a little bit closer, but nonetheless, let's see what Hind does. Kuehl is still in there, 46 seconds. I'll keep an eye on. On that. I thought he almost disconnected then. He's at 59, a minute 1. He's still in there, so Kuehl's still in the pits. Hind continues on. And Kuehl, a minute 7 total. Total stop time, 42 seconds. So I wonder if he might have had a little bit of damage to repair, having come up through the field from the rear of the grid. Could quite possibly have. And Antoon now in 3rd position, 57 seconds behind Hind.
Well, interestingly enough, Hind is actually quicker on the older vehicle. Over an hour old tyres, almost an hour 10-minute old tyres. Compared to Antoon, so they've both done a 41.5. Hind is just about 3/4 of a tenth quicker, even on an hour-old tyre. So he's really confident in his ability here to baby these tyres a little bit longer. He might even, I'm genuinely surprised how long he's pushing this, because personally I would have pitted maybe 3 laps ago, but this strategy will probably pay off.
It's looking good right now, and he's extending the gap over Antoon. So it is at 57 seconds right now. So he's going to need all of that to keep himself ahead of the number 3 BMW. Let's click over to him and we'll see if this is going to be the lap. You can't think there'd be too many more. He's going to continue around again. All right, we'll see last lap was a 41.5. Phil Antoon did a 42.7 on that last lap as well. He goes a 41.5 again. So, all over it right now is Chris Hind. We'll keep an eye on also Antoon's time as we watch Lattanzio and Bell scrapping it out. Bell's been inching ever closer over the last few laps to the rear of the number 2 Aston Martin belonging to Nando Lattanzio. And Antoon, now go for it.
Oh, the Porsche's definitely going to be stronger through the sector 2 and 3 here, but I think if Nando can hold her behind for those 2 sectors, he's just going to pull out and straight, because that Aston is an absolute rocket ship.
Speaking of, what's the 244 top speed compared to 242, so got the advantage. Antoon just completed his lap, a 41.355, so that was faster than Hind on his previous, and now it's more of a question of how long can Hind stay out for. We're at almost an hour and 13 minutes in total, and he and Cole are the only 2 that are yet to make their stops. As we'll flick over to him, and he continues around again, so another lap. I'm becoming less and less surprised. A 41.525, and the gap is at 56.7 seconds. The difference as Cooley, one of the 3 Aston Martins between 6th, 7th and 8th. He's looking to make it 6th. Goes up the inside of Kurt Moss and gets the job done. So Chris Cooley now occupying P6. He's 20 seconds behind John Zoot, who has completed his stop as well. So last lap around Zoo was a 42 flat compared to a 41.8 to Cooley. So he's got his work cut out for him, as he's found for most of this one. We'll keep an eye on the time of Antoon. It was a couple of tenths faster last lap around. We'll see if that trend continues as we're watching Layla Bell hustling Nando Lattanzio. And he was 3/10 slower, Antoon, on that last lap, Breno.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if he can keep this 3/10 faster every lap, it'd only be 4 laps or so that he has to be quicker than Hind to come out ahead. And obviously Hind's going to be on cold tyres, so there's not much fighting he can do in those first couple stages. But with Hind still pulling away here, I think they're just going to come out in the order that they went in. And obviously Hind's going to have the better tyres, especially towards the end, the last 15 minutes or so. So yeah, this is interesting.
But yeah, I think it's going to be really important for Hind to get in front, because he couldn't manage a way past Antoon, even when we're in the early stages when the pressure would have been on and they would have been, fighting it out because Hind's gone around again. He couldn't quite get past, so I feel like this might be his the optimum way to try and keep in P1. The gap's at 58.5 seconds, so he's continuing to stretch that out. His last lap was a 41.7 compared to Antoon, 41.8 as Christian Wells.
I reckon he's done it again. Unfortunately, that's going to be the hardest corner here in the night. Is you just can't pick that apex as well as you can.
It kind of sucks you in as well. I reckon that corner, like it just, it looks so easy to hit, and you kind of get a little fixated on it. So here we go. Yeah, spot on the money again, Breno. All right, so. To live pictures in a second. There we go. Get back to. Layla Bell managed to get past Breno. Let's not Breno. Hang on, Nando. Sorry, there we go. Just got the replay just a tad smidge late there. A little bit of Don't think there was any contact there, so
I think there was a little bit of elbows out, maybe a bit of a squeeze there. I reckon it's fair game though, but Layla definitely wanted to get past him.
All right, Hind is in the pits. Here we go. So he's stopped. He's hit his marks. All right, Phil Antoon. He's got it all to do right now. Where is he? He's just coming up to turn number 10. That's Laycock. So,
also, his last lap was a 43.4 and invalid, so I have a feeling something's happened there. So I reckon that might just give Hind the advantage he needs, just to get just have a bit of a gap to get his tyres back up to temp and hold his position.
Alright, he's stopped for 30 to 32 seconds. He's dropped. He's away. Here's Antoon. He's coming through. Cheetah now. Hind still making his way through pit lane. This is going to be close. He's going. He's out of pit lane. He's up to race speed. And Antoon is behind him. So Connor Hind has made his strategy work, and it's paid off. And I think, to your point that you pointed out there, that last lap that Antoon did was the difference, because Hind stopped for a total of 56 seconds, so he did have the gap in his pocket to get it done, and he has. So great work from Connor Hind, who is now in P1 with 42 minutes remaining, and he's 4.5 seconds up the road from Phil Antoon. So he's got a 4.5 second gap he needs to close down if he wants to have a shot at taking victory. So great driving from Connor Hind to get it done and take P1.
Yeah, obviously knew the limits of the car, knew the limits of the tyres, and knew the limits of his skill there, and it just paid off. Definitely helped. Hind and Antoon did have a terrible last lap there, losing about a second and a half, but even then, 3 seconds is a comfortable gap to come out, just for a couple laps. Well, actually almost 20 minutes worth of an overcut, so that's a fair return there, so well done, Hind.
Yeah, great driving, great racing. So it's been those two out in front for the majority of it. Kale has battled away there in P3. It's been a bit of a lonely race for him in third. He's 10 seconds off the back of Antoon, but he's 18 seconds up the road from Aaes. So he's just enjoying a Saturday night drive as Herod and Pickford swapping positions down there in 12th and 13th. So getting the job done, but we'll go back to John Zhu, who is tucked in behind Aaes. He's had a great race. He's in 4th position right now, started in 10th. Track conditions still optimum. It's only dropped a couple of degrees since we started an hour and 20 minutes ago. It started at 20 degrees, now only 18, so only dropped a couple of degrees, so hasn't been too bad in terms of affecting track conditions from what we've been able to observe compared to last race.
I believe the track temps are also helping these drivers push those stints as well. 18 is very cool. So the tyres are definitely going to last a bit longer than they would in, say, 23, 30. As we go to...
Yeah, that was Quarantoto. I think he's out. Yeah, he's pulled over. So sorry, I just tried to put it on something else for the length of the replay, which we'll get back to very, very shortly. Here we go. That was Quarantoto at the back then. All right, we're back.
Yeah, unfortunately, you said we started with 32, so it looks like 5 drivers sort of throwing the towel. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but sometimes when it's not your night, it's not your night.
Yeah. I agree. So, John Zhu, we just saw a penalty flash up. So, Hignett, 5-second penalty for him. Not too sure what that was for. He's down there in 16th position. And the gap already between Hind and Antoon has just drifted to 5.2 seconds, 5.3 in fact, right now. So Connor Hind on the fresher tyres. His first timed lap after his pit stop of 41.6 compared to Antoon of 41.9. So 0.3 of a second faster to Hind. He's got this one well in control with 38 and a bit minutes left in this one. He's looking in a very, very strong position to take out race victory. Ethan Cale, maybe his championship situation will be done a world of good. I think Zoo has managed to get past Niperez. How did that come about? I think Niperez might have made a mistake. Is this into turn 2? I think it is, yeah. Oh, yeah, Niperez just ran wide at turn 2. So that's why we saw John Zoo get his way through there. So I'll get back to live images now. And that's the two of them. As we go back to Chris Bosick. And that's Antoon coming through there in the BMW. That's P number 2. And that gap has continued to drift. Now it's 6.5 seconds between Hind and Antoon.
Looks like he lost almost a second or so behind those back markers there, so I don't think he's going to be too happy with that.
Yeah, and it looks like Hind was able to navigate pretty simply because he's just lapped in a 40.970 to be exact. So he's absolutely flying right now, is Connor Hind, and he's doing nothing but extending that gap between he and Phil Antoon. Still hovering at 10 seconds, the difference between Antoon and Cale and Zoo and Niperez. Cooley, 14.5 seconds behind Niperez as we're watching. Bosick going around the outside of turn number 7. Nice move, Chris Bosick. Let's have a quick look at that again, how that came about. We'll go on board. Benefits of night racing, we get all the illuminated dashboards. They go side by side, and Bosick goes around the outside and gets the move done. Nice work from him. He's up into 19th position. He started in 27th. So he's had a good race up until now. And the other two closest cars on track is Pickford and Herod in 12th and 13th. And it's all quiet right now. The race is almost 3/4 of the way through. And it's kind of Hind continuing to pull away. He was half a second faster on that last lap from Antoon. Cale in 3rd. He's just drifted a second. Zoo holding at 18.5. Niperez Cooley. Last lap from him was a 41.3. 2.5 seconds faster than Niperez, but he's 13 seconds behind. That's the only issue for Cooley right now. Moss is hanging in there in 7th. Where did he start? He started in 14th. So I think he had a bit of a rough one last time out, Kurt Moss. So good to see him having a better run of it tonight. Layla Bell started in 11th, so she's made some good progress into 8th. Tanzio's drifted down, so he started 4th. He's in 9th right now. And then Christian Wells, he started in 21st. He's currently in P11 with less than 35 minutes left. So an interesting top 10, which will have championship implications as we go into the final round in a couple of weeks. Are you looking forward to it, Breno?
It's going to be interesting. These top 3 here, I reckon, are going to be battling it out as hard as they can to take that top spot, because there is money in the line here. Might not be as much as the esports competitions, but I wouldn't say no to $190 if I was this good. So.
Yeah. I'd be putting my best foot forward, that's for sure. Gorilla Spanner, what's Cooley's fastest lap? Chris Cooley's fastest lap is a 1 minute 40.875, which is the fastest lap of the race. His last lap that he did was a 41.7 as we're watching The number 21, Bala, put the move on O'Brien. It's a nice move from him. Harrison Bala, the Rain Light Racing entry, moves his way up into P20. And Pickford in the pits. I'm not too sure if that's scheduled. I wouldn't have thought so. Hour and 20 was his last stint. Wow, that's huge. I thought he had pitted. Oh, I reckon he would have pitted. Yeah, that's his second stop for the day. Yeah. Gorilla Snapper. Very, he's impressed with the Cooley time. 40.8. His last lap was a 41.7. He's flying at the moment. That was 4/10 faster than Matt Perez as well.
Yeah, I know it doesn't seem like it at the moment, but that 13-second gap between Perez and Cooley could come down by the end. But there's still half an hour to go, which is the best part of 20 laps. So we could see a switch of position here for Cooley, and Connor Hine just takes the fastest lap there with a 40.712. So barely pips Cooley, but it really shows his pace.
Yeah, 8.9 seconds now. The gap between Hind and Antoon, so he's absolutely flying right now. It looks like there's not really any progress being made between Kale and Zoo either, so they seem to be pretty much stationary in those two positions. So yeah, the two closest cars out on track right now that we're watching is Skinny Luke in the number 36 Aston Martin. He started in 18th position. He's moved up 7 spots, so he finds himself in P11. And Herod, he started in 13th. He's in 12th. Greg Brock is a little bit further behind these guys, nearly 30 seconds. He's in 13th. He started 24th, so he's moved up 11 spots. And Hayden Marsh, despite all these troubles that we saw earlier, he's currently sitting in P14, 19 spots from where he started in 33rd. So lots of rises, not too many fallers. Shane Robbins, the 666 going around, and I think that's Zoo who's just avoided hitting him, and that was good driving from Robbins. He put it into reverse and reversed it off the circuit. We'll just see exactly what happened. Oh yeah, just by himself. Oh, it's a fair whack into the wall as well. So, and there we go. Oh, he sees Zoo come through, puts it in reverse. Good driving. And we go back to live images right now. He's back underway. So, smart driving from Shane Robbins there.
Yeah, 100%. It was good awareness there to just hold the brakes there. Like he understood, as soon as he went round, he realised, nah, I'm not going to be able to save this, and just reversed, back off the track, got out the way, which is pretty good. Shane, looks like the tyres are going off for him a little bit there, because it's not normally a corner that it's easy to spin at. So it looks like he might have just gone the power. Maybe the TC's a bit too low, gone the power a bit too early. He's just gone around by himself there, but yeah, good to get out the way like that. It's some great awareness.
Well, that bit, and this is the last thing you want, isn't it? To ruin someone's race accidentally as well. So all's well that ends well. Herod still chasing down Skinny Luke. So last lap around, it was a 10th in it between Luke and Herod, who's just getting a little bit loose out of turn 6, which is Sunset, and we are into the final quarter of this one. 29.5 minutes remaining. So it's Connor Hind. He leads this one by 11 seconds over Phil Antoon. Ethan Cale sitting there in 3rd. 4th, Zoo, Niperez, Cooley, Moss, Bell, Latenzio, and Wells. It's the top 10 right now, and yeah, as you pointed out earlier, Breno, 27 remaining after starting with 32, 33, I think it was. So not a bad attrition rate. I think we had about 4 or 5 DNFs in round 1, so we're on schedule for something similar.
Yeah, and I've just noticed mine has gone looking again for 40.6. So I reckon that overcut means that he's able to fuel the car less. So I reckon he's only put about 60, 70 litres in for this final stint here, and obviously it's paying off because they are some insane lap times for a race pace.
Yeah. Let alone, what was pole position? Pole position was, it was a 41. I know it was a 41 something. So yeah, cracking pace for considering it's the race. Yeah, and it's this far into it as well. So Connor Hind absolutely loving the conditions, and he's flying at the moment. Makes me think, next lap around, he's not far from completing this one. We might do a lap with him. We'll just watch. We'll leave the sound on, but we'll just do a lap with Connor Hind. He's not too far away. We'll have a look at exactly how he's doing it. Where is he? He's about to come through Cheetah now, so let's go on board. Here's a lap of Connor Hind just doing his thing. There we go. All right, we're back. What did you think of that lap, Breno?
To be honest, he uses a lot more of the curbs than I was expecting, especially for the Ferrari, but obviously it's quicker, so yeah, no, awesome lap, great driver. Evidences he's actually managed to pull that gap from 4.5 seconds up to 14 in 15 minutes, so I think he's safely got P1 here. I know commentators curse is a thing, I don't want to jinx him here, but he's in a very comfortable position here to take home the victory.
Well, that lap that he did that we were on board, his 5-second penalty for car number 99 as the Bentley of Pickford and makes a little bit of contact with Marsh but redresses. 99, Louis van der Venter. There you go, so he gets a penalty, and then Hignett has got a 5-second penalty next to his name as Pickford makes his way past Marsh, who's definitely had an eventful race, but he still made up 18 spots from where he started in 33rd. So, watching that though, so what do you think's harder to drive in? The light like this, where it's dark and it's fully illuminated in the front of you by your lights, or what about say like Spa in the dying light with when the shadows come over the track and you've got that is a Mercedes of Cole. Yeah, not too sure what happened. He's just flicking around. Say the light dying at a track like Spa where you get the shadows covering up braking markers and things like that. What would you find more difficult?
I think racing in the dying light is probably more difficult than racing in the full night. Just because, yeah, as you said, the shadows. I know we had a Watkins 2 hour last night, and that was 3 times multiplier from 2 p.m. So it finished about 8 o'clock, and for that last half an hour, coming into the boot section, the left-hander down the hill, I use a little grate or like drain on the side to brake. And as the shadow of the trees came over, for that there was probably about 20 minutes or so where the shadows came over. It's very difficult to spot, and obviously that's a corner that even 5 meters braking too late, you miss out on the camber and you just go straight. So yeah, very, very tough conditions. But yeah, night driving, definitely tough, but I'd have to argue that, the driving in the dying light is difficult. Also, at Kyalami as well, driving in the sunset with the sun, especially coming through that the right-hander down the hill. I'm not sure the name.
Sunset, ironically enough. Turn number 6. Yeah,
there you go. That one there is quite difficult, especially when you got the big orange ball in your face.
Or even when I think of sun in the eyes, like coming across the top of the mountain at Bathurst as well. Can be when she's going down the hill. Can be
very true.
Quite difficult. Nice, because I was just watching that. I'm like, man, and he was so in control as well. So that was the other thing that really stuck out for me. All right, so 22 minutes left. Lockie Andrews down there having a nice little battle with Robbins in the 666 BMW. It's all quiet at the front of the field, so it's 16 seconds now, the gap between Hind and Antoon. Kale 13 seconds behind him, Zoo a further 17 seconds. Let's watch how this one plays out as Andrews loses the spot to Robbins. Still not over here. And Robbins gets it done. So 666. Oh, is he going to go down the inside? No, he's not. They're feeling this is not quite over yet. They're coming towards the end of the lap. They've got Cheetah still to navigate. Get through there without any drums. All right. The other one I wanted to talk about was Niperez and Zoo down in 4th and 5th. Up in 4th and 5th. Right now, as we've got that on the screen. They've got Skinny Luke just up ahead of them. He's lap traffic at this stage. 42.647 to Zoo, a 42.295 to Niperez on that last lap. So, not much in it between these two. This is going to go down to the wire, I think. This one between Zoo and Niperez for P4 and 5.
Yeah, it is looking that way. It's shaping up, hey. There is still 20 minutes to go. There's a long time to defend for something, especially considering it looks like Nicholas is significant, well, not significant, but like fairly quicker than Zhu at this point in time. Because that gap was about 4 or 5 seconds not too long ago. So Nicholas has gained it all back after being overtaken earlier in the stint. So yeah, you're right. This could come down to the wire, but I'm putting my money on Nicholas here to pass.
Oh, Stevens. Is this another one that's been called out at Cheetah? I think it is. We catch him just coming through. Oh, he just run wide and then, the car's darted left.
He does well to keep it out the wall there. Doesn't look like he hit the wall at all, and if so, it was very light contact there. So, yeah, well done.
Might have gotten away with that. Let's go back in. He's continued on stuff. Mark Stevens. We step away from the Niperez and Zoo battle. Have a quick look back at Andrews and Robbins, where they swapped positions not that long ago. And they've remained quite close. That's Greg Brock in the background, but he is lapping these guys. So he's up there in 13th right now. He's 30 seconds behind Skinny Luke. He's got Pickford 17 seconds behind him. He did lap that last one of 44.2 compared to Pickford of 41.9, but with only 19 minutes left, Greg Brock might be safe for now. You'd have to think, unless he has some sort of issue, but yeah, he's looking on track for a pretty solid finish. I think he was a DNF on round 1, or he did finish a little bit lower, I can't remember, but nonetheless, having a good run tonight, which is good to see.
Always a good feeling to bounce back after a bad round.
Got a few penalties up there as well. So Kale's got a 5-second penalty. I missed that. What was that for? Wow, Ethan Kale, who's in P3, 5-second penalty. So the gap between him and John Zhu, though, is at 17 seconds, and it doesn't specify that it's a stop-go 5 seconds. It's just a 5-second penalty. So I did miss that. I didn't see why that happened, but that's not going to make a difference to if the race was to finish right now. He's got that 5 seconds well in pocket, so that's not going to affect his P3, but yeah, not too sure what that was for. Pickford's got 5 seconds, as does Hicknet and Louis van de Venter against their names right now, so not too sure what they're all for, but they've been picked out for discretions worthy of a 5-second penalty from our wife stewards. And Lockie Andrews and Robbins continue to have a nice little old battle. They'll be loving this. That's Greg Brock still behind them at the moment. What's the lap times like between those guys? Oh, they're all very, very similar. That's always a tough spot to be in, where you've got really similar pace amongst cars, but all the car unlapping, well, dealing with the lap traffic, don't have a significant speed advantage. Looks like they're going to make the most of it anyway, so just through there. Right, no, alright, so they'll work it all out between them. But it looks like the closest two cars we got on track right now was the Robbins-Andrews battle, and John Zhu and Matt Niperez. Last lap around, Zhu was a 42.3 compared to a 42.437 to Niperez, so slight advantage to the way Zhu. Looks like Andrews might be able to get the job done here. Not quite. Who's that just up ahead? I think that might be Bell. Up ahead in the Porsche. Yeah, I think it is. As Andrews looking for a way past. Where did these guys start? Robbins started in 29th. And Andrews started in 26th. So 4 spots gained by Robbins, 4 by Andrews.
Yeah, very tough way to find a way past.
Yeah.
Especially without a mistake. And especially at night, it really is the trifecta. Especially through Cheetah. It's very difficult to follow another car because you just can't spot the apex, and as we see, if you clip that apex,
it's why what's his name? Andrews gave it a little nibble though, then, so got the car almost on 2 wheels. So they continue to battle away, and then the other one we'll quickly duck over to is Niperez and Zhu, where Niperez has closed the gap ever so slightly, less than half a second the difference. You can see the red exhaust glowing in the dark. Last lap around, a couple of tenths faster was the 116 and the Porsche. What was the BMW was plus 10 kilos in ballast. The Porsche was minus 10 kilos around here. So on opposite sides of the scale in terms of ballast. But yeah, Nick will be eagerly trying to secure a top 4 finish. Started 10th in 5th, and Zoo started 9th. So these two have been tied together for a fair portion of this one.
Yeah, and as we're speaking, Aaes has made up the gap here to Wells, so potentially a top 10 finish for him here on the car. It's only 2 tenths separates them.
Yep, here we go. Looks like something happened to Pickford. I think it's a disconnect. Yep, so Pickford's out, which is a shame. At 12.5 minutes left, so that is quite a long way to come for a disconnect, unfortunately for him. So he's out. In the meantime, though, Herod got to go down the inside here. That's coming through turn 8. Nice work. Let's see that again, shall we? Go on the replay. And just a little crossover here.
Yeah, that's textbook there. Yeah, just shows the nose and Wells sort of lets him pass there. Maybe not so much on his own wheel there, but great move from Herod to put him up into the top 10.
Yeah, I think that was a sensible move from Wells though. In that case, looks like what's happened? So Pickford's out. Yep. Eaton is the other one who's quite close to Marsh, who's had a great race. What about Johnny Eaton? He started 16th, so he's moved up one spot into 15th. And then Nicorez is at half a second, the gap between him and Zoo. So after that pit stop, Hind has continued to pull away, and he's extended his margin to almost 21 seconds. The difference, I think, is about 4.5 when he came out in the lead. So he's put 16 seconds on Hind since he pitted 31 minutes ago. So he's just absolutely flown since that pit stop.
Yeah, it also looks like the tyres are starting to fall off for Kyalami and Tim. Both did 42.5s their last lap, which is over a second off what they can do. So yeah, it looks like they are starting to wear down. Whereas Hind is going to have 6, 7, maybe even 8 lap newer tyres. So that's where that gap's really starting to extend.
Yeah, because he's just going faster and faster at this stage. He's all over it. Nicorez has continued to close up on the back of Zeus. So only just a tick over 10 minutes remaining in this one. Kale has that 5-second penalty. He's 16 seconds ahead of Zeus. So that's not going to be a drama for him if everything stays the way that it is, and more than likely will, despite the slower lap times, but it's enough to keep him ahead of car number 45. But yeah, Sue's got a battle on his hands here, because I'm sure Nicorez is going to want to try and get past at some stage of this one. There's not long left.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be trying some things here. I reckon filling the mirrors, trying to force that mistake.
So track still optimum, 18 degrees. It's been at that temperature for a fair while now, so didn't see a massive drop off. Wasn't expecting any weather either, so that definitely hasn't eventuated. Yeah, weather, raining and night racing. That's not a good mix. not a good mix if not a good mix if you're driving. From the spectator view, it's a little bit better. And just a couple of little spot fires happening throughout. So Mac Power has been hustling Cole for a little while. Those two are down there in 23rd and 24th. And then Andrews and Robbins, they've been scrapping away for the last 10-15 minutes or so. So they continue to do battle down there in 20th and 21st. And then Johnny Eaton and Marsh in 14th and 15th. Let's see how this eventuates out. We'll stick with this until the end of the straight. Power 243 kilometre top speed. Cole 241. Put that to the test with the McLaren. That was minus 19 kg for the ballast. No, nothing happening there. What about Johnny Eaton? He's tucked under the rear wing of the Ferrari, the 27, just ahead of him. I think that's a Bentley in the background. Can't quite see. Number 3, I think it is. Oh, that's Antoon. So that's P2 right now, just coming up on a little bit of lap traffic. This one, so they'll get the blue flags shortly. And then Perez is the other one that we'll monitor with just over 7 minutes remaining. Not far away from getting round 2 in the books. And Connor Hind well in control. So I think he's going to let Antoon go through. This is good driving from Eaton. Yep, nice work from him. And then Marsh is going to have to do the same shortly. So that's when Eaton will try and reclaim a bit of an advantage back. These are the dying scraps of this one. Zoo, that last lap around did a 41.9 compared to a 42.2 on that lap. So just over half a second the gap. And you'd think there's only probably another 3 laps max left in this one. Eaton, did he get past Marsh? He did. Just quickly go back to that, have a look. So he was getting out of the way for Antoon, and in doing so, Eaton is able to get past and get the job done. So nice work from Johnny Eaton. He played that nice. He played that really nicely.
Yeah, just capitalised there on. Was ahead, Marsh ahead, moving out of the way for Antoon. He's capitalised perfectly on that, so he's up into P14.
Alright, so we continue to watch the battle for P5. I was just trying to have a guess here at how many laps are left. Well, maybe 3. Oh, that's the 450. So that's a lap car. That is car number, that's Herod in P10. So shows you how far ahead these guys are. They're lapping 10th position as Perez just getting a little bit untidy out of Cheetah. That could have brought all his good work undone in just a moment.
Yeah, in fact, Cooley's actually gained about 8 seconds on these two over the past 15 minutes or so, so that there could have even lost him P5 in this race.
Yeah, so good point. 5.2 seconds the gap between Cooley, and he was lapping about half a second faster than Perez, and even faster than about half a second faster than these guys. So yeah, they're fighting amongst one another. Letting them fall back into the clutches of Chris Cooley. 4 minutes remaining. Probably just only 2 more laps, I would think, because Minder's just crossed over the line now. And we've got 3 minutes 50, so...
I reckon we'll get a third lap to go, so I reckon 3, yeah. There'll be about 20 seconds left for that final lap again. So, Nicholas has about 3 more laps here to get past you. It's not looking like he's going to be able to do it, but funnier things have happened.
Well, it's going to keep us entertained, that's for sure. These are Robbins and Andrews as well continue to scrap it out down there in 20th and 21st. So they're still going out the 666 and the 77. The 45 and the 116. Bozic, a very late pit stop. He stopped 50 minutes ago, so a late stop for him. And Hignet's got a yellow. What's happened here in Foster as well? I think that is related to one another. It is. Let's have a look here how this came about. So Hignett sending it down the inside. Oh, he just... that was hard into the wall there of tyres from Foster. We go back to live pictures and he's still struggling to get going right now. So a rough end to his race. He's down there in 26, which is currently last position. But is Nipares once again closing the gap. Foster is pulled over to the side of the road. Stop go penalty car 471 causing a collision. 71. That is Hignett in the Mercedes, so that's a reaction to what we just witnessed.
Yeah, that's interesting though, because Foster was a backmarker to Hignett. Yeah, I thought Foster would have got a penalty there.
Hignett's gone around as well. Oh, we got chaos here. That's Stevens. Is this a cheater? What is happening here? So this was Mark Stevens. And then Hignett coming through, takes evasive action, and hits. Oh, and that's what Hignett was presented with on board. So. Yeah, a little bit of chaos here right at the end. Stop go penalty for someone else.
There's a yellow flag here, so what's happened? Is there another...
Oh no, that was Nipares! Oh no! So, hang on, I'll go back on the replay. So that was Zhu going through, that was Mac Power, and that was really untidy. Mac Power was down there in 24th position. And that means Kyalami has now gone through and he's taken away P5. We've got the leader on the final lap. A little bit of chaos here to end this one, but Chris Kyalami has had some good fortune fall his way and he now finds himself in P5 and Matt Nipares down there in P6 after such a great race right at the end with less than a minute to go, and he gets caught up with the back marker, Mac Power, and robs him of a P5. So he will not be particularly happy in that car right now. Someone who will be quite happy, though, is this man on screen. So Connor Hind, absolutely a masterclass today. He went long on his stint. He couldn't quite get past Antoon on the track, but his pit strategy was far superior. He took pole position at Zolder. He qualified today in P number 2, and once he managed to get past Antoon in the pits, he's been untouchable. Absolutely blistering pace throughout, but he finished second last round. He's going to go one better, and that means this championship is going to go down to the wire at Bathurst in a couple of weeks. But congratulations, Connor Hind is round number 2 winner. Congratulations, he's the winner at Kyalami, and well done. Awesome drive from him. That was great stuff. He had the pace all day, and yeah, fantastic drive.
Yeah, can't fault him. Strategy was not what I was expecting, but it paid off in dividends here. So he's going to finish 28 seconds or so ahead of Antoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. Yeah, as you said, couldn't overtake him on the track, but decided to push that stint, and yeah, pays off great. And he's our winner here for the AAS Round 2 Summer Series.
Congratulations to him. Phil Antoon crosses the line in second. Well done to him. And Ethan Cale, he takes another podium position into P3. And then Zhu, he finished third in Zolder. He's going to finish fourth at Kyalami. So despite the 5-second penalty to Ethan Cale at the end, that won't affect his finishing position. They did jump positions. So Cale, not too sure what's going on. Yeah, the timing screen's just freaking out. Chris Cooley in fifth. Matt Niperez coming home in 6th position. Kurt Moss, he'll be coming home in 7th. Will be the second to last runners on the lead lap. Congratulations to him. And then Layla Bell coming through to take P number 8. She'll be the final car to finish on the lead lap. She takes the final turn in the number 8 Porsche. Congratulations to her. And yeah, so it's Hind was the winner. Connor Hind, it was Antoon, and it was Ethan Cale in P3. Good stuff. Who else was there? That was the top 10, and then who was the biggest gainer of the... Chris Cooley, 27 spots, started 32nd, finished in 5th position. Marsh up 18. Brock up 11, Wells up 10, and yeah, the biggest faller on the screen right now is Nando Tanzio. He started in 4th, but finished 9th. But that's in the books. What were your overall thoughts, Brenno?
Oh, another great race, you know. These guys up the top are extremely quick. Congratulations to Hind. Definitely had the strategy tonight, and it paid off. He deserves that win. Antoon, another solid result, and same with Cale. Definitely 3 of those are going to be competitors for the prize pool up the top there in this championship. And in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be back at Bathurst to do it all again. Yeah,
going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. I don't know if we're doing post-race interviews at the moment. Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's just we'll cap it there, I reckon. Alright, beautiful. Good stuff, everyone. So round number 2 in the books. Connor Hind taking home victory. Phil Antoon and Ethan Cale in P3 rounding out the podium. That means that this championship is going to go down to the wire in Mount Panorama, Bathurst, in a couple of weeks. So that will be streamed once again. You're able to join us for that one as well, Brenno?
Might miss quali again in a bit of the race, but I'll try my best to be here because I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, well, I enjoy having you, and I hope all our viewers do as well, because you give some really awesome insights. So it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope everyone else has enjoyed the stream as well. Thank you very much for coming along and checking it out, and thanks to everyone in the chat. Gorilla Snapper was in there. I think Liam Curran was in there as well. Herbatron was in there. Brad Cook, Brendan Webley, Nathan Wilson. So thank you to all of you who came along and joined in for today. We're going to do it same time, same day in a couple of weeks at Bathurst. But until then, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. My name's Nick. Brenno.
And yeah, I'm Brenno. And I reckon thanks for joining us tonight.